morning, fellow fans of the Mighty Saints. I have to be a bit quiet today because my granddaughter's here. And she's hopefully asleep for a bit while we do this video. Right, so I posted on my main channel, which is the TikTok channel, The Saints Adam. Similar name, isn't it? A question, because after our defeat to Hull, people have been calling for the head of Will Still. My personal opinion, it's far too early. And the reason being, if you look back to 2 years ago, we had a very similar beginning to the season. I know we'd won a few more games by this stage, but things didn't settle down until October. You can see, this is our results up to October that season. So we had 4 more points, but I'm not saying this season we've got any chance of heading into the playoffs, but we really do need to concentrate on staying up. And getting rid of the manager at this stage is an absurd notion. The board, maybe we need some new owners, because I really don't know what these owners think they're doing. They clearly haven't got a clue, and they haven't got anybody there with a football brain in the back. So nobody good at recruiting the correct people for a football club. But we're in a rebuild situation, and part of that rebuild really should be concentrating on staying in the Championship, not thinking, oh, we must be in the Premier League because we're a Premier League team. We're not at the moment. We're a Premier League sort of infrastructure. We're not a Premier League club at the moment. If you look at this shows that in the last 12 months, we've had more managers than won league games. The fact that Sport Republic haven't noticed this, I'm pretty sure they haven't, otherwise we would have done something really solid to cure it, is the worrying thing. Right, I've posted on my TikTok page. I've just got to get the notes up so as I can scratch my nose. No, right, so not very good at reading things out. I do apologise about my my way of reading this out, but True Saint, this is to the question, should we get rid of Will Still? True Saint says no. Some of our fan base are deluded and seem to think we are a massive club. We aren't. Don't start all this ridiculous chat of Will getting sacked. We need to be patient for once and stop jumping the gun. Give him time. Totally agree. Baby Sigig says we should be winning games than yesterday. I want him to stay, but if the board feel pressured, I don't know what they'll do. They won't feel pressured to get rid of him. Not at this stage anyway. Otherwise they would have got rid of Russell Martin earlier than they did last year. Hairy Guy says, think he needs time. By their perhaps worrying signs which need to be addressed. I'm actually reading them as they're written, so I'm sorry if I'm not very good at reading these out, like I said. Paul Kitch71 says, as long as we're not at real risk of relegation, give him time. It can't always be the manager's fault. Not all the manager's fault. Diane Roberts says, it's still early days. There was a lot of damage done from the last few years. Give him a chance. Northern Southerner Beer says, the real problem is the running and recruitment of the club. There's a very familiar pattern developing. This time, I don't think it's the manager's. I would imagine he would have said manager's fault there. Steve says, keep him doing great. I presume that Steve is probably a Pompey fan. Aribo always believing. Now, talking of Aribo, he's in the squad. Is he still sulking? Should he not be in the team? Anyway, he says, but Damien Downs started against Hull and did nothing. I'm sorry, Damien Downs doesn't appear to be up to the standard or the tag of Saints player, unfortunately. Hopefully things will change. But why was Adam Armstrong not starting that match? Count A says, Will seems out of his depth. He does at the moment, but it is early days. Clyde Kent 11 says he needs time for sure, but if nothing changes by the end of October, who knows? Vil says no, but a team shake-up is needed big time. Eddie says no, it's only 6 games in. Lenny says no, but he needs to sort a game plan. We need to sort out all over the pitch. Must Ski says the board is the problem. Gino D'Amelio says yes. Chris Moore 1995 says, I remember when managers were given 1 year at least. Douglas Cruz says we shouldn't. He has come into a club in decline and our fans need to recognise that. Give him time. And I then thanked everybody for their comments, and a few more came up. Our fans surely can't be real, right? How, after 6 games, can you decide on a manager who was managing in League One at top 5 in football? Yes, we've only won 1 out of 6. We're on 6 points out of a possible 15, which isn't bad, especially with the trauma of last season still in the club, which is evident. And then Mad Frankie, aka the Dentist, says Will still has no experience in the Football League. And finally, Luke Smith 244 said, bloody hell, give him a chance. So there you go. It's a bit mixed, really. But I think the idea of getting rid of a manager after 6 games, if we do that, we're going to have the record of having 5 managers, 3 wins in the last 12 months. How many negative records do we need at this football club? I know we've got Liverpool next. It's a bit worrying, and things need to change pretty quickly. The attitude of the team, maybe the tactics. They certainly need to learn how to defend, and we need to find a midfield player to score lots and lots of goals for us, because we haven't got a striker. And that is the thing that annoys me the most. They had time to buy in a striker. We're a big enough club, despite what one of the commenters said. We may not be a massive club, we're a big club. We should have been able to attract a striker. But anyway, please tune in to my TikTok channel, where all the main and incisive content is. And thank you for watching this one, and see you again next time.